Hi, I'm Sasha,
And I'm Kirsten.
and this is Mess Magnets.
We're back, baby.
We did it, and we keep doing it, baby.
Look at the consistency.
Oh my god, us doing the bare minimum. Ugh, look at us
Well,
being men.
and this is the thing where it's like, I'm actually gonna have to take some time off coming up.
Yeah,
So this
real.
might be the last they hear of me for like a little bit.
Fair, and we will allow it 100%. Oh my, it's the way we were like, yeah, we should plan a deep dive when.
When
will
are we gonna do it?
Yep.
When were we gonna research, write it, or record it? I would love to do one.
Me too. That's
with
the
what
thing.
time?
I love that stuff. Like that is, I will say, one of my favorite. I don't know if like the messengers care or if messengers are like, no, like give me the highlights of every like pop culture thing. But if there's something juicy, Kirsten, I like can't help myself.
Well, and I think, Kate, here's the thing. The celebs just have not really been celebing. So I feel like we actually can make a deep dive happen in the near future. I just have to take a little bit of time so that I don't have a nervous breakdown this summer.
Period. Okay. We leave that into the people in Fiji, not you.
Yes, thank you. I want to watch it on TV, not experience it myself.
Exactly. Oh my gosh, and you deserve. Okay. So either way, we will be trucking on one way or the other. We'll see how. Maybe like I'll do one solo episode, but I don't know if people want to hear from me.
Yes, they do.
So either way.
They literally do. When I recorded the solo one about like Lily Allen, I was like, I don't know. I don't feel great about this. Like, well, maybe we'll just delete it. And then people were like, we loved this. So I know for a fact that whatever you do as a solo, people will love. And I know Lavina will also come home at any time that she's
Period. She knows home.
No.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, let us know if you want us to like have anyone particular on, any of our friends especially, to come chat. And we'll go from there. But we have like not a lot to discuss, but like something that like really blew my mind.
Yeah, we're living in one of the strangest timelines.
Correct.
Celebs are not really celebing lately. Like, if you look up like tabloid stories, so much of it is just like, will this person be at Taylor Swift's wedding? Will this person be at Taylor Swift's wedding? And it's like, I don't care. When the wedding happens, we could talk about who's there.
Exactly.
I don't understand this speculation, but there's just not that much going on. So I am very excited that we have something else kind of happening in the online world that we can talk about.
And like maybe, eventually we might need to do a collab with Crime Scene. Who knows? Because this shit is crazy, y'all. At least crazy to me. Again, y'all know I just be finding these YouTube. Like Kirsten sent me something and I was like, oh my god, there's a YouTube that I can dive into. It's over, for everybody.
Can I admit something to you, Sasha? Because I'm not on YouTube like that, really. Like I will go there to watch podcasts and like a few key channels, but I'm not really like diving in. When I tell you, I have become so obsessed with mountaineering tragedies and watching YouTube videos about them.
Not you. You're like Karthik. He watches stuff like this.
Well, I might have some recommendations for Karthik to watch that.
Yeah, he'll like watch random stuff like that where I'm like, wait, why are we watching?
But then you get obsessed. Like I have become so obsessed with the 1996 Everest tragedy because it's the 30-year anniversary. So there's lots of like new stuff about it as well. That I watched like a bunch of YouTube videos, like a documentary from PBS, listened to the whole book Into Thin Air. I'm now reading a different person who was on that trip's book.
That trip was so stupid.
It was so crazy.
I watched the movie on it too, I think, and it's just like it could be avoidable. But
yeah, there was like, and that's why it's interesting, right? Because like a lot of mountaineering disasters is just like, oh, an avalanche came and everybody died. And it's like, well, that's not compelling to me. That's just sad. Whereas this is like, oh my God. And then they made this decision. And then they made this decision. And then they made this decision. And like, if any one of them was different, it would be different. So anyways, I highly recommend.
And that one guy that died up top saving people, like, what are you doing?
And it's like he was up top and the two other people that had been up there with him were like definitely both dead already, but he wouldn't start trying to come down because he like the altitude sickness really gets you at that point. And so he was like, I can't go down without like Doug and Andy, but then Doug and Andy were already gone. So it's really sad. Yeah, really sad. Anyway, and sorry, I completely I completely derailed, but I thought you'd be proud of me that I was on YouTube. And now let's talk about the latest YouTube.
No, please. This is great. So yes, I think folks must have seen some version of this, and I think this could serve as like a here's what you missed on Glee situation, because you might have seen like Bricks and Minifigs, which is a company, and a like the Lego scam Star Wars scandal. I'm sure, because even on my algorithm I don't really look at any of these things, but it showed up for me. So there is a currently like multiple lawsuits, GoFundMes, this, that, and the third, to kind of talk through how this company, Bricks and Minifigs, stole allegedly, $200,000 worth of this family's Star Wars collection. And you would think like that would be enough for us to kind of get through it and, you know, like kind of do like a mess magnets, like check in. No, because then the Mormons get involved.
Of course they do.
Yeah. And again, it's like culty, and then the police brutality comes in.
A story with a little bit of everything, truly.
Yeah, so I can't wait for the Netflix like special of all of this. But anyway, so let's like start with what's going on. So there's this man named Brian Mansell and his father who had been purchasing like Star Wars collection sets since 2000. So yeah. And they reportedly end up building a collection that's worth more than $200,000. And in late 2023, the family then like ends up going to this store, right, called Bricks and Minifigs, in Salem, Oregon, and they say like, okay, we're gonna consign it to you. So this consignment deal kind of allows that outlet to sell individual sets to customers, but the ownership of the unsold items remains with the family, with the Mansell family. And so that's like how consignment works, basically. Like,
and if anyone's consigned clothes or anything like that, you bring your stuff in, and then when it's like, they don't just buy it from you. Correct. When it sells, you get a portion of the proceeds.
Yep. So with every sale, the Mansells receive a 35% commission, which like that sucks.
That feels like a low commission, right? When Lego is worth so much money and they could literally just sell it on eBay.
Yep. But I think there's like health issue, you know, there's just many reasons I think why, but whatever. So and then the Lego sets, you know, were supposed to be returned back to the family, whichever ones didn't get sold once like this agreement ends. Pretty straight and narrow. On social media, they're even like promoting their massive inventory. Basically at one point, like almost the whole store was just this family's stuff.
Wow.
Yes. So now Bricks and Minifigs, sorry, the company was owned and actually operated by a franchise. So this was like an individual franchisee, not necessarily the corporate, right? So very important. Okay. So this was like the operators, Crystal and Robert, were running it. And in fact, were actually doing the payments, you know, like things were moving fine. But then Robert had to, I think, like go somewhere, or they were moving for whatever reason. I can't remember. Doesn't really matter. Yeah. But long story short, they were, Crystal said, hey, I need to calls corporate and said, we're going to, I'm giving you notice, like in a few months, we need to like end our lease with you basically. So before that, like that time was up, they were terminated by corporate, and the store's new owner takes over. And they said, okay, you know what? Fine. You want to do that? All good. But they end up sending the copy of this consignment contract and security footage of everything, confirming the Lego sets belonged to this family, confirming that, funny enough, this new owners saying that like, yeah, we'll take over the consignment, we'll take over now, this is ours, don't worry about it, whatever, we'll handle it. They just kept saying that over and over. And they have, again, all of this on video. Yeah.
This, like, having the security footage in the first place is so crazy. And like, I guess I'm just not that educated on how franchises work, but I actually didn't know, like, I would have thought that if a franchise owner is like fired by like the overall company, that it would just no longer be a franchise. But like, I didn't know that they could just assign someone else to just immediately take it over. That feels crazy.
Yeah, they like I only know a little bit because like my mom's eyebrow threading stories, like one of them is a friend, she's a franchisee. So yeah, there's a lot of ways like that they retain a lot of control. And then a lot of ways, like if you have good relationships, like, there's workarounds, or the franchisor, is able to kind of, work with you. So it's so dependent on like these people's like good fortune.
Oh my God. Okay,
yeah, and like no how idea. They care about you or not. And they even like filed for bankruptcy. Like it was mess with my mom's franchisee situation. Whatever. That company. So anyway, wow. So they say, okay, fine, here you go. And like basically Bricks and Minifigs even said like, hey, we found someone to take over. So she was already cool with like someone taking over. So it wasn't like, oh, they could just like came in and fired them. But they were, the timing was abrupt, but not necessarily like someone coming in, if that makes sense. So then fine. Okay. So she's kind of like, this family has, been like, okay, this is it. We're done. She feel like they did what they needed to do. Now, after this, in May 2024, the Lego reselling company, right? So the Bricks, decides that they're going to dispute Crystal and Robert, the original franchisee's claims, and said that basically the consignment is unauthorized.
And I do just want to say before we get much further, like all of this is alleged.
So allegedly,
like
guys,
none of this is confirmed. This is all alleged in our personal opinions.
Yep. And there's some security footage, but again, it could all be doctored. We don't know.
Wow.
So yeah. So it's nuts is the point. Okay. Cool. So then, allegedly, again, they said like, hey, this is unauthorized. We don't do this consignment type stuff. So let's move on. Wow. They also end up kind of blaming the Brian, whose dad, him and his dad owned this, blaming his family, saying like they missed payments, and in November, like blah blah blah. Kind of just lying, allegedly.
And missed payments for what? You that's what I'm saying. Your items. What do you have to pay for?
Just when I tell you, the lies aren't even believable in like what all we're about to see. So then, Brian says like has tried everything. They're like, okay, sue us. Like we're $100 million company. Like sue us. So Brian was kind of like, okay, I don't know what to do. Ends up reaching out to this content creator or YouTuber named Reckless Ben. He has 1 million followers, and his kind of thing is that he like infiltrate cults. And he like, this is like up our alley.
Do you watch Reckless Ben?
No, so now I have a new like person that I can kind of get into. Can't wait. And he's like a young kid. I don't know how young he is, but he comes off very young, which again, I want to say is part of, I think, like how crazy all of this is.
I can't wait to watch Reckless Ben's video after this.
Yeah, I think it's worth it, and you can watch it on 2x, and I think you still get most of it.
Okay.
So so he has now put out a freaking he's 30 years old. Just kidding. Okay, he looks really young.
30 is young. 30 comes across as young often.
So anyway, so he's put an hour and a half investigation on what happened. And when I tell you, the receipts are outrageous. This man is crazy. He's a psychopath, and we should be so grateful that his mind is like for good.
Oh my God. Okay, I'm so excited. Hour and a half.
Yeah. No, see, and that's just part 1. There's 3.
And me from 1 month ago would have said hour and a half YouTube video could never be me. And now guess what? I'm gonna be there.
Period. I really think it's a like intriguing watch. Like it's so cracked. The editing is crazy. What he does is crazy. Like you'll see. Okay, we'll talk about it.
Okay.
So now, again, so we get the background, right? Like why, like his Brian's dad had like a recent health complication. So they have not told dad that all of this has been happening since 2023. Yep. Ben says, you know what? Let me just go to the store, and starts confronting the manager named Amanda. And he goes, hey, Amanda, like here's the contract that says all these, this one is my friend's, Brian's pieces. You need to just give them back to him. And this lady is like, I'm going to call the police. Not even saying anything. You're trespassing. I'm going to call the police. Constantly. Okay, so, and he does this a few times. Then Ben says, you know what? I'm going to go to the corporate office. And ends up kind of saying, okay, cool. Let's go to the corporate office, and shows up there. The corporate office says, you know what? We can't do anything. This is like the franchisee. It's their mess. We can't really solve them.
So when they don't want to deal with it, it's the franchise's mess. But when they're upset with the franchise, they can go in and have someone take it over. Interesting. Okay.
Exactly. Okay. So then at one point, so then he says, great. You know what? Like this, we kind of get like a lot of back and forth of this. And then Ben goes, you know what? It's fine. What I'm gonna do is create my own company called WeStealFromOldPeople.com. And the tagline is going to be bricks and minifigs. But in America, it doesn't say that the tagline should be under the name of the company. So what he ends up doing is writes bricks and minifigs in and he goes through all the, like, he shows us like he's filing for corporate status, whatever, LLC, whatever, all that. He makes his friends franchisees of this.
Please.
And now his friends are going in and doing all of this stuff. So now cops are involved, and he repeats the same exact lines that Bricks and Minifigs has said. And what he does is like he puts up signs everywhere saying bricks and minifigs, we steal from old people.
I love whatever is wrong with this man.
That's what my God. Like, we should just be so grateful he's for good. A chaotic good. Like, that is like how to describe watching this
absolutely.
So then, okay. So, so the cops are kind of like, okay, like they kind of get to a brick wall, basically. So then he said, okay, it's fine. Totally all good. He kind of gets in touch with the owner, like franchisee named Josh. And the owners currently are Josh and Brandon. Okay. And he's like, you know what? I'm going about this all wrong. What I'm good at is getting into cults, right? So this is like a Lego cult. Let me infiltrate. So they stage a fake lottery. And they make like a fake YouTuber, basically. And they have like, fans like coming up to this YouTuber at the store, blah, blah, blah. to where one of the staff members thinks she won the lottery, this Lego lottery. Yes.
No.
Yep. And then they end up like taking it, which I'm like, this girl has zero fight or flight, because she's going out with a bunch of men into like kind of this like open area. Like, it looks sus. Thankfully, again, these are good people.
Yeah, so it's not like actually like anyone doing anything wrong. Yes. Oh my god.
So then he gets tea from her, because now finally he's like, like, think about like a cult member that got free. Like, that's how he's proportioning this girl as. And she's like, oh, well, we were told that he paid everything to Brian, and Brian won't leave him alone. Like, Brian the son. And so that's like Josh is saying all of this, the store owner.
So they're saying that like the son of the person that owns everything got paid for the
like basically like he is actually the perpetrator now, and
like he's robbing his dad.
Or not dad, like we did what we needed to do, but Brian's not happy for some reason. Long story short. Outrageous. So that's what the employees are led to believe, which is why they're so like hard to be like, oh, if people are coming up, trying to help Brian, it's because like they're all like trespassing.
Yeah, and it's like
we need to call the cops.
We've worked in retail before, right? And so it's like sometimes there really are customers and people that are just completely unreasonable. And so I can understand like if your manager tells you like, oh, this is what happened with this client, this is why we're responding in this way. Most people probably aren't gonna like think past that. Okay.
Yep. Yeah. So basically like he kind of gets her to admit it on camera. I'm like, girl, like, what are you doing?
Well, she won the lottery. She doesn't need to work there anymore.
No, then they come clean about who they are. So like they like, again, he's pretty ethical. Like eventually.
And what's her response when she finds out who they really are?
No, then she's like, oh my god, like this is what the reality is. Well, this is what he told us. So she like kind of
got it.
Yeah. And then she said like Josh has been saying that we're gonna, if Ben, which is a YouTuber now, comes on the property, we got to figure out a way to get him arrested, because they don't have any legal way to arrest him because he's not breaking any laws.
I'm sorry, specifically like saying we have to get this person arrested is crazy behavior.
I know. When I like world's dumbest criminals type shit. So then Josh is like, Ben is like, okay, you know what, like this isn't working, because the cops and then like cops have been called here and there, like he clips those in as well. Cops are fully on the owner, like Josh's side, and so Ben is literally like, hey, here is this like contract, like, so isn't that like stolen stuff in this store? Why can't you just get it back for us? And the cop is like, you're trespassing. And this happens again multiple times. It's a like copy paste. And he's like, well, here's the contract. Well, I don't know anything about a contract. All I know is you're trespassing. That's what the cops keep saying.
Like, okay, well, we're reporting stolen goods to you.
Yeah. Then eventually the cops catch on. So then they change it to, okay, well, that's a civil case. This is what you're doing is criminal.
I'm sorry. Police will do literally anything to avoid actually helping someone. That's so crazy.
Yep. So then now that becomes a story. So he said, cool. So if it was a criminal case, would you do it? Would you help us? And they go, yeah. So he goes, bet. So now he has started a lottery raffle. And
the lottery's back.
Yeah, the lottery's back. But now it's like, if you don't pay up right on the lottery, that's a criminal offense. So he takes one of the Lego sets that he knows is, owned by this family still, but that's in the store, and he raffles it. And people, and for it to be a legal lottery, you have to like get money like as part of the raffle.
Yeah.
So he said, but we legally, like, that's unethical, because obviously we're only doing this to like, to make it a criminal case. So He goes, great, give me the $1 for the raffle that you're buying, but I'll give you $1 because you're appearing in my video.
Okay.
Yeah, like I said, his brain, it's crazy. So he sells lottery. This quote unquote, this girls end up winning, and he's like, great, you won, but like, so let's go and get your set. And again, they go back to the store. Amanda calls the cops on their ass again, the manager. And he's like, no, but like, you're stealing a lottery now. So this is a criminal case.
I have to admit, I'm not really tracking how he could actually like lottery off something that's still in the store, but
because
I trust
it's
him
legally owned by the family. Like that's what it's.
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay, yes, I'm understanding now.
Yeah, it's all because of the contract that originally, you know, the first people sign. And now, so then, you know, now it's getting a little bit crazy because right, it's becoming a criminal situation. So now that guy, the Josh and the owner ends up calling YouTuber Ben, saying, okay, let's figure this out, all on video, of course. He starts with like, okay, you know what, I'll just give you the inventory, just get Brian, the son, to do an apology video, you know, get him to do this, that, and the third, you know.
What does the son have to apologize for?
Exactly. So at first YouTuber goes, you know, why don't you just do it, right? So like you can get your stuff back. But thankfully, Brian has a brain, the son. And he goes, actually, if I do that, then I am like saying that I have harassed him, right? Like, that's why I'm apologizing. Yeah. So that could come back to bite me. So Ben said, oh, shit, you're right. So then, yeah. So then he like does a bullshit apology, right? Obviously that Josh isn't going to take. But then, so then he goes, great. You know what I can do? Let's just try to get the money back at this point, because this guy isn't like, you know, he just kept like lying. He's like, okay, come in tomorrow to get the sets. Oh, now it's been all that to say a month passes. Oh, and then we just realize, right, like we're hitting a brick wall. And then he does a flashback. All right. And this shit, and the reason I didn't say it ahead of time, because I wanted everyone to be like fully involved, to be like, oh my God, there's no way out of this.
Okay.
Listen to what he did. Ben, before he even started, right, like this investigation or whatever, one of his friends acted like a Amazon delivery driver, and tells Amanda, the manager, right, can you sign for this? And she just signs it.
Yeah. What was it?
What was it, you say? Well, it was a anti-trespassing contract, basically saying you can never, ever, ever claim that Ben is trespassing on your property. And if you call the cops, you owe him $5,000 every time you call the cops.
I'm sorry, what the fuck? This is, again, whatever's wrong with him, I love it so much.
Oh my God. So then you're just like, what the hell? Like,
but surely that can't be legal because she didn't know what she was signing.
It is legal. He showed the thing. Yes. So apparently it is on the consumer. If you sign, it's like a terms and condition, right? like you know how Disney try to get away with.
You gotta read what it.
Yes, it's your fault. Like, why did you sign something without knowing what was going on? And then Kirsten, he shows it to her, and she was like, "Oh, that is not my. How did you get so close to my signature?"
Oh my God.
Yep. And
that is so crazy.
It's diabolical. So that's why I wanted to keep this like towards the end, because again, I had the same reaction. And again, world's dumbest criminal. She's not like, that isn't my signature. Like, she was gobsmacked. Like, you could tell she couldn't believe it. And then she's like, I don't know, calls the cops again. At this point, it's like she owes like $40,000-$50,000.
Well, and does she owe it or does the franchise owe it?
She owes it. Oh no, he specifically got her ass. And then while all of this is going on, again, the store owner is like, okay, make good with Amanda, and then I'll give you the stuff. So all of this gets tied up in a bow,
course,
right? Like, hey, I tried to make good with Amanda. Amanda wasn't trying to do it with me, blah, blah, blah. Okay.
She called the police again.
Yeah, she called and owes me money. And you can't say I'm trespassing because Amanda signed a document saying I'm not, basically. Then they're like, okay, you know what? Like, let's leave all of this to the side. It's obvious, right? They're not going to give it, even though he's lying and said he was going to give it back and now isn't. Yeah. So then they said, we're going to file small claims court. But the problem is that when you go to small claims court, you can only get up to $10,000.
Well, yeah, I was going to say this is way bigger of a dollar amount than small claims court.
But and you can't like sue someone multiple times for the same crime. So they already had bases, like they were like, okay, if we go to small claims court, we're getting 10,000. Like, you know, the Brian and his dad like are good. You know, like they like it's so obvious that it'll go in our favor, but they need to get almost like 100,000, 200,000 right back. So how do we do this? And for that, since you can't sue someone for the same exact crime, what they can do is sue them, sue again, a thing, because case splitting or something. I can't remember the exact name. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm assuming that it would be like for each individual, like the certain amount of kits up to $10,000 would be in each case, right?
Yes. But you can't like do it right. Like I said, right? Like for the same case. So remember, Brian still owns all of these. So Brian sells $10,000 worth of his kits to every single person in Ben's friend group. And funny enough, it all adds up to $100,000. So now you like Kirsten is the owner, right? Not Brian. So now Kirsten can say Bricks and Minifigs owns my Lego and they won't give it back.
And then so it's each 10 people.
Correct.
Each taking them to small claims for $10,000. Diabolical.
Correct. And of course, and again, they're like, how they do it is really funny. They take out like credit cards, and they go into $10,000 debt, and they're like, great, we need someone to help us pay this debt back. Oh, I think my friend Brian could loan me 10,000. So that's how like that becomes like they're good. They don't have
it's just all getting passed around.
Yeah, basically to like just blow. So that's how they anyway, obviously they try to serve these people. They don't take it serious. Like they keep closing the store early, so they can't serve it in person. So then the current owners is like, dude, like I'm like, I don't take this serious. So that equals the court saying, okay, that means he didn't show up. You're good.
Yeah, you win because they didn't show up.
So that's happening. All right, cool. Then while that's happening, Ben is like, okay, you know what? Like this still isn't necessarily a great, ending. Like we still need to get this man his motion because they got a default judgment. And all they did is close the store. So you can't really contact them to get the stuff.
Yeah, to get the stuff.
Yeah. So now, then what happened? And every time they would show up at the store, the cops would show up. So it was like really kind of creepy.
And also like, stop calling the cops.
Yeah.
Like, you freaks.
Exactly. So then they said, you know what? Like, let's just like, we're obviously not getting anywhere, even though like legally we have so much stuff on our side, the cops and whatever. It's just too bad. So we're just gonna start a GoFundMe. Let's like wash our hands of this. And the last thing we're gonna do, if you look at the GoFundMe, is like they created this image of I think Josh or Brandon, one of the owners' faces on it, and it says again, we steal from old people,
of course.
And because the store is closed, Kirsten, he prints that banner and puts it on the store.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And meanwhile, they didn't tell anyone that the store was closing, so people are review bombing it, unrelated to this stuff, because they're like, my kid's birthday party was supposed to be here, and now I showed up and the store is closed.
Well, and I'm assuming other people also were consigning Lego sets there.
Yeah.
So, oh my God.
Yep. So now that's going on. And so okay, maybe we think that's the end of it, right? But then what's crazy is he says, "Okay, now I just have to do one last, suing, and I need to again deliver this in person." So he shows up to Josh or Brandon's house.
Probably as an Amazon driver, I presume.
Correct. No, like themselves, because he's like, I'm gonna do this peacefully. I just need to hand him the paper and leave. I'm not even trying to talk to him. And I wish I could do it, via email, because he tried to like sue him one more time for something else. I can't exactly remember. Sorry. But again, the Oregon said like you have to do this in person. You can't, like, you have to serve them in person. Fine.
Yeah.
So he goes to the store. Obviously, the store is closed. What do? I'm gonna go to Josh's house. And shows up to Josh's house. Cops show up immediately, Kirsten. Ben isn't even driving. Windows are blacked out, so you don't even know that that's Ben.
I'm sorry. How? What?
And they said, you can't go in. They said, we're pulling you over because you ran a stop sign. And then
I'm assuming this is all on video and he did not run a stop sign.
No, because then they got the video. In the video, it's pretty obvious. Again, allegedly, but pretty obvious. It's not, Okay. Then this is where now we have moved into police brutality and police corruption. Because now, again, it's like, okay, this like funny little thing going on, right? Or not funny, but you know what I mean? Like chaotic, rather, I should say.
Yeah.
Thing going on, right? Consignment dispute, whatever. Now, what's crazy is the cops have just seemed to be so shady here. Yeah, because now he's, like I said, right? He goes to try to serve him papers. He ends up getting arrested. Yep.
And what's the crime?
The American Fork Police Department says, hey, actually, we think that you were high on heroin.
Hello?
Yeah. So they pull him over. And for 2 to 3 hours, they're trying to find something. And it's obvious they're not. And then random footage, according to the YouTuber, Ben, that random footage was missing or redacted. And he's like, it's convenient that like the footage, it feels like to him that the footage is like of them kind of talking, of being like, hey, there's no, there's nothing there. What do we do? Okay. So after those few hours, right? Him and his friend are gone, and his friend and him are like, we will do drug tests. You can test us.
Well, they would, but they would have to if they are accusing you. Like, I'm not a lawyer, but I'm pretty sure if they pull you over and accuse you of using a substance, they have to do some sort of like urine or blood analysis so that they can, like, no one's gonna press a charge without having like evidence.
Exactly. So yeah, it's just, this is where like it gets like scary. So then they're like kind of pressuring them, at the side of the road at night, to kind of, cop to this heroin thing. They're like, we know you have it in the car, we know you're doing it, blah blah blah. And they're just like, what the fuck are you, like, what? And then, ridiculous, but they let him go. He goes back the next day, right? He's like, and this time he takes a process server, and this person is like, their job, right, is to do the serving. So he said, great, this girl is gonna do it, I'm just in the car to identify that that's him, that's it. Okay. And then he put up a sign in the sidewalk that across from this guy's house, saying, again, we still, the GoFundMe sign, right, we steal from old people, this guy, takes money. So cops show up. Not the first cop comes, first pair, whatever. He explains exactly what's going on. He's like, here's a paper, I just want to give it to him. The cop says, oh, okay, got it, I'm gonna go back. Second, third, fourth, I think happens 4 or 5 times that 4 different pairs of cops show up. And then one cop even says, okay, give me the papers, I'll serve it for you. So he's like, great, that's fine. And the cop is like, yeah, you should like usually have someone that's like, doing the servicing for you. And he's like, yeah, that's what this is. Well, no, someone that you don't know. I just met her this morning. Oh, okay. But this is what you should be doing. So the cops are kind of like, he has an answer to everything. And they're just like, I don't know if acting dumb is the right word, but
it seems like they might be playing stupid.
Yeah.
At least a little bit.
Mm-hmm. So then eventually the cop comes back and he's like, I actually couldn't serve this because this isn't real.
This isn't real?
Yeah.
What are you, that woman on the plane?
Mm-hmm. Because they think that he's trolling.
And guess what? It's not their job to think if he's trolling or not trolling. It's their job to, like, I don't know, do police work, maybe solve a crime.
And again, world's dumbest criminals. There's literally body cam footage of the cop calling the court to check, and the court says, yeah, this is like a legit case.
What is going on?
But they just ignore, like, they just act like that call didn't happen. And they're like, hey, we're gonna arrest you for stalking.
Hey, we decided this isn't real, even though we did hear from the courts that it is real. And also, you're a stalker now.
Yep. And what's crazy is that this comes out later on, but I'll just insert it here, is that they like that guy Brandon or Josh, whatever, one of the owners was actually saying like, I'm gonna shoot them if they come on my property. So,
and do they live in a stand your ground state?
I mean, it's Oregon. I don't know.
I don't think so. It could be. I don't know.
Either way, but again, so he's like, so you'd rather commit murder than like pay, or like give the sets back. Sure. Then, and then he gets like charged. Then later on he gets charged with stalking, and again, residential targeted picketing, which is the sign that he had put up.
This is so crazy considering how many people actually have stalkers who the police won't do anything about it because they'll be like, oh, well, they haven't done anything to you, so we can't do anything. And these police are just like, yep, you're charged with stalking. Literally unbelievable.
And then again, diabolical. YouTuber Ben goes, you know what, you're a Mormon, so I'm gonna reach out to the church. And one of the elders at the church was like, okay, or not the elders, but one of the whatever, the brother, whatever his name is, ends up at this guy's house. And he's like, well, he said he swore to God, so I'm gonna try to talk to him. But this is where, like, I don't know if this was, again, a troll or, like, actually a member of the church. So, but I just thought, like, again, like, we're trying to get everything. But then after this, on March 10th, 2026, Ben gets formally charged with, like I said, right, stalking, and then targeted picketing, as well as disorderly conduct and trespassing after multiple stints at that guy's house. Then he's scheduled to appear in court on June 8th, 2026. So it's coming up on Monday.
Wow.
As of when we're recording. That's why I'm like, this is crazy, and it's going to keep going. Then a second arrest ends up occurring at March 11th, 2026, where it is a judge-approved search warrant at the Airbnb that him and his team are staying at. And it's like they're swatted. And like with like huge guns, but and like all this stuff.
What are they looking for?
What do you couldn't even guess. But take one guess.
Is it the heroin?
No. They were told, the cops allegedly that the Airbnb owner, landlord owner, whatever, overheard that these guys actually had stolen the Lego sets. And the Lego sets were allegedly at the Airbnb.
I'm sorry. If they're going to SWAT for the fucking Lego sets, they can go to the closed down store in the freaking mall. Are you joking?
Yep.
I would have thought that would be a civil matter, actually.
Yep. So obviously, like YouTuber Ben is like, I think this is still, the like Josh and Brandon like kind of, putting this all on me, because then it comes out that they actually accused the legit owners, right, that got out, the franchisees that got ousted early, that of doing heroin. So very similar.
Yeah. Suddenly everyone you don't like is on heroin. On heroin. Crazy.
Correct. And then while this arrest was happening, YouTuber Ben's arm gets dislocated by the cop. And then he does say, like, he does clarify later on that he had a ski injury, which is why like his arm might get dislocated.
It's more easily dislocated than okay.
But like, again, it's pretty obvious that like the cop was saying, and the cop and now the American Fork Police Department has put out like a legit video statement, but they're just kind of like saying, oh no, like he was kind of like tensing up, resisting, different like excuses, all which didn't add up because we have GoPro footage from them and body cam footage.
And wait, so this is all happening in Utah?
Is it Utah or is it Oregon?
It seems like it might be in Utah,
which makes
after
more
I
sense.
Looked it up. I was like, no way
okay, so because it's going against franchise owners in Utah and Oregon.
Oh,
so that's how it's going on.
Got it.
Yeah, so I think the company might be.
It's like the specific store.
Franchise owners is
yeah.
Yeah, crazy.
What the fuck?
So then, and this time, like, they've denied him bail and everything, but thankfully another judge ends up seeing it and it's like, dude, like, this is stupid, and they're free now.
Denied like murderers get bail.
And not only that, he lives in like LA, I think. He lives in California, and like someone was knocking on his door, the police in California, saying there's a warrant for his arrest. He calls the cops and they're like, no, like we don't really see that. We don't understand what's going on. Now Ben shoots another video and he's like, oh, we're totally in America. Instead of actually, just kidding, I'm in Mexico. He has fled to Mexico.
Oh my God.
Yep. Because oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, it's just crazy to give up. I wonder how much his bail was, because he's not getting that money back.
I'm telling you. And it's saying that now he may face up to 5 years in prison for criminal charges with all of this shit that they have kind of, put on him.
Oh my God.
Yep. So now, in May 29th of 2026, the American Police Department has released a statement stating that there are no active warrants for him in Utah, and they're not currently seeking him. So sorry, so this makes sense, the Mormon connection, because I was like, how are they doing this in Oregon? So sorry, y'all.
Like there's Mormons everywhere, but, it's just I was like,
a lot of stuff was like in Oregon, because they were even talking about tax laws from Oregon. That's why I just assumed everything was in Oregon, but I guess just the company. Anyway, the daddy company. Yep. Then and then there's a news release, like I said, that just like Ben breaks down like everything, like either portion of, like he said, he lets that guy talk, the American Fork person, and then he'll talk. Kind of like debunking what. So again, that's a really long. It's okay. It's not really that. Like, it's fine. He just posted a rebuttal basically to the police response, and now Bricks and Minifigs also have put out multiple statements. It's so obvious that they've kind of hired like PR crisis lawyers, just kind of being like, hey, let this blow over type shit. And now they're like, they have filed a lawsuit against Ben and the original dad, Brian, and son, Brian, and others, using the state's RICO statute and alleging that they're doing like defamation, racketeering, harassment, including bomb and death threats.
These are RICO charges. What?
So yeah, that's where we are currently. There is a part 3 on Patreon. And that's where the Patreon CEO comes in.
Yes. That's what I saw today. Yes. I saw the Patreon CEO and I was like, whoa, what's this about?
So he posts like his things early, just like Mess Magnets does. Check out our Patreon. Become a patron. But anyway, so he was posting, I guess he's posting them ahead of time on his Patreon, and then he'll eventually release it on YouTube. So they're now trying to get the CEO of Patreon to take it down. But
like
the
whole Patreon page, right?
Rocks. Yeah, Ben's Patreon page, because they don't want him to like the reckless Ben page, but he needs money, right, to do all of this stuff, because he's helping this guy kind of
Wow. And the Patreon CEO was like, well, and anyways, no, the page is staying up. Bye.
And the Patreon CEO has now commented on his YouTube as well to be like, we're with you.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
It makes you feel good to have a Patreon, doesn't it?
Exactly. So yeah, it's crazy because and again, there's like there's a lot of debunking. Like this is already 15 minutes. I can't believe it.
Yeah.
But there's like a lot of like debunking, a lot of lying from these police department that are like, oh, the heroin stop was because your eyes were glazed over. How would you know that? Why'd you pull me over in the first place?
Yeah, it's like they obviously were probably like reading license plates or some shit. And then we're like, okay, yeah, stop this one. We'll just say it's spin the wheel, heroin.
Yep. And allegedly, like it's known that this like company gives money to the police department or is Mormon, and there's like a lot of connections because the owners went to BYU, and again, YouTuber Ben ran all the cops' names that pulled him over, and they've all gone to BYU as well.
Oh,
so it might be like the Mormon mafia.
There's like the connection. I had no clue.
Yep. So it could be like because they donate. It could be that they know each other. They know each other.
They know each other.
Yeah, whatever reason it might be. Like that's fully speculation. So that's why I didn't want to bring that up necessarily, but I thought that was interesting as well. So that's the tea.
From the video I saw this morning that I sent to you, nothing possibly could have prepared me for how insane that actually is.
I know. And again, like it's definitely worth like going to Reckless Ben's like YouTube and like seeing, because he stitches the clips together, like kind of debunking everything that any person has said to him.
I'm gonna be headed there after this. That's so crazy.
I know.
Wow.
Yep. So part 3 will be dropping soon. It hasn't dropped as of this recording. So,
okay. I love this. Okay.
But that is your Star Wars Lego drama.
I love that.
I guess we did a deep dive.
There we go. The deep dive is here. We did it. Okay. I think I just want to bring up this Love Island mess.
Yes, please.
Because it's so funny. And then
my family is so invested.
The quick bites for this.
Yes.
So Love Island USA, we said last week, it started now. There's been a couple of episodes, coverage over at WeKnowDatingShows.com. You know the drill. Everyone go over there. But there is some mess that's like outside the game that I think is very funny. So there is a contestant on this season of Love Island named Sean. He's a police officer in the Bethlehem Police Department in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
And the mayor of this town has said, quote, our police department spent a lot of time training and we paid thousands of taxpayer dollars to send him to the police academy. We are disappointed he left as we now have another vacancy in our department that is impossible to fill until next year. I never thought I'd see the day in America where reality show participation wins out over being a police officer. So crazy. We also, there's a statement from the chief of police as well, who said, I love Sean. He's a good guy. He was a great officer, but I'm disappointed just because we work so incredibly hard to try to recruit the best people we can to be part of the Bethlehem Police Department. And they are struggling to fill vacancies. And because the city doesn't approve of their officers doing secondary work due to concerns of burnout and overtime. She said, at this time, I don't think there'd be a department that would be willing to allow someone to leave for like X amount of weeks to go on television when everyone's hurting right now and overtime is being utilized to fill the gaps. Officers are getting burnt out. It's a bad look to me. Now, me and you like, mind you, he quit his job. Anyone is allowed to quit their job. Just
but
because you become
currently
a police officer doesn't mean that you are like indentured servitude for the end of time and have to stay there, right? Like, anyone can quit a job at any time.
Exactly. Like, that's what hiring at will means.
Exactly. The mayor also said, people can do what they want, but from our mission as far as the city of Bethlehem is to have a police department that is fully staffed, and we take that responsibility very seriously. He was sworn into the police force in August of 2025. And there was like a post, I guess, where the police department wished him success as he embarks on this journey of service to our community. And then as of May, he was no longer employed with the police department. And that's like messy enough. Like, it's so crazy that the municipal government is speaking on Love Island is so crazy. But there was a comment on a post on Instagram by someone claiming to be Sean's mom. We do not know if this is actually his mom or not. Like, I guess I could maybe try to deep dive that, but I'm not interested. I saw the screenshot. I laughed. I don't care if it's real or not. So the comment says, "This is Sean's mom, and the statements made by these officials are disappointing, and they have missed a huge opportunity to make a positive impact. They did not spend taxpayer dollars to send him to a full academy. He came with 4 years of experience from Northern California, where he was a sheriff deputy. Contra Costa County Sheriff Department paid for him to attend a full academy. Yes, they spent some, but they are making statements that do not tell the whole story. Also, I think it's interesting that they say he resigned because he was told to put in for leave before going on the show. And then after arriving in Fiji, his leave was denied. I think that when the mayor or anyone is speaking on something, especially something about another person, it is important to share all the facts. I stand with my son. I support him fully, and I am so proud of him." What?
That took me out. Like, I just want to say.
Saying that they told him to put in for leave and they denied it is so crazy. I did go to her Instagram and like, it would be very crazy for this to not be actually his mom, because like there's pictures of him from dating back of like when he like from like First Responders Day, a picture of him in his police uniform, like a picture of him on the news, and then since he was like him with his son and like the Love Island cast announcement and all of this stuff. So like it would be crazy to me if it was not actually his mom. So I do believe that is legit. So 2 stories where what we're hearing from the police is not matching up to what everyone else is saying. It's just an interesting theme.
I thought that. Yep.
Interesting thing.
I know. That's why I was like, "Oh, are we naming this episode?" Cop mess. I'm just kidding.
A all mess are bastards.
I know.
Obviously not, but would be funny to me personally.
I know. Same. I love it for us. Oh my gosh.
But yeah, so that is what's going on with Sean from Love Island, and I'm assuming that we will receive updates on this as the season progresses. And it's the type of mess that I think everyone will care about, whether they're watching Love Island or not, because it's so
my family very much cares. They're like, "So what do you mean? So he's not a cop?" I was like, "No, he is, but like he was cop before," and just trying to explain what was going on is so funny. Oh, but yes, I love this.
Okay. And then let's just go straight to Anony-mess. How does that sound?
Let's do it.
Okay. So this is more of a quick one. And our messenger clarifies all names have been changed in the story. They were recently invited to their first cousin Johnny's wedding, which is at the end of June, and they've been debating whether they want to go or not, and they want our advice. Okay. So the wedding and reception are about a 2-hour drive from where our messenger lives, and they are not going to do a hotel for this.
Oh, got it.
So here's some backstory. Johnny is a few months older than our messenger. They essentially grew up together, and within the extended family, Johnny was always the favorite. He got the most attention. Family showed more interest in him, etc. And our messenger says, "Yes, I'm holding a grudge. I'm petty." And I think that's fair. Like, if your cousin is getting like blatantly favoritism from other family members, I think it's fair to hold a grudge.
Yep.
So Johnny had started dating his fiance Tiffany maybe 2 years ago, and they got engaged last fall. So it's a very short time between engagement and the wedding itself.
Okay.
Our messenger says we did some digging. I assume that's like the family did some digging. I'm not 100% sure. And they found out that Tiffany had previously been married and divorced already. So this is her second wedding, and we think she's 28. So second wedding at 28. Tiffany is not close with her own family for her own reasons. And our messenger has not spoken to Johnny or Tiffany since they started dating and even since they got engaged. Things have been rocky in the family as our messenger's uncle Brad has not treated our messenger's immediate family the greatest for a variety of reasons. And then they say in brackets, long story. Send us the long story.
Yeah, that. Okay, hello.
Please. We love long story long. Send it our way. And so if this is like Johnny's sister's wedding a few years ago, it will be an absolute shit show. And our messenger is not sure if they want to put themselves in that position again. They have been looking up all of their extended family's RSVPs on the knot.com, the wedding website.
Period. Yeah.
And 95% of them have RSVP'd yes. Our messenger doesn't really feel like they have a valid excuse to not go other than not wanting to. And they're curious about our thoughts on this, on like, should they go? Should they not go? What's the situation?
No. Weddings are so complicated. Like I just, when I say like I not fully understand, but had a kind of falling out with, a family member as well after my wedding. So I'm wondering if I would go, to their wedding. Like that's, I think, where I am. And I'm wondering if it's worth it for our messenger to kind of like deal with the family backlash. Like I'm not even talking about the cousin. Like, is it worth kind of like hearing about it from, like we said, 90% of your family? I think that's my number one question. And then 2, like, not very unfair, but is it worth treating it as a reunion with people you love instead of?
That's kind of my perspective. Is like, if you're on good terms with the majority of the extended family and you don't mind taking a 2-hour drive, I say RSVP yes, go to the wedding. And if it becomes a shit, like there's no law that says you have to stay. If your uncle is rude to you or someone causes a scene, just leave. You could just leave, drive home. You don't have to stay the whole time. And then if people are upset with you, say, hey, that got really crazy and I didn't want to take away from Johnny and Tiffany's big day, so I just left. I don't think that would be like so crazy.
Yeah. And it's very, if you like just don't want to go, then it is what it is. Then you don't go. Like I think that's fair. I think my question is also like, is it worth all the drama, or like the stuff that your family might say? And like, well, you're like, you can always block your uncle, but what if he like giving people like that kind of what they want, it sucks. And then giving them a reason to feel validated, I think is what I mean. Never at the, sake of your own safety or mental health, but if you can just ignore him, hang out with the people you love, why not?
Yeah.
So that's where I am. But unless, again, it's like an unsafe situation.
Yes. If it's unsafe, don't go.
Yeah.
If it is safe, I love being the bigger person in a situation. Oh, that person doesn't want me there. I'm going to be there and I am going to be so helpful and kind and supportive. And I'm going to show that like the other person's wrong.
Yeah, like that. Like you never want to give like those kinds of people, because I'm telling you, all they need is like a little bit of a because I ended up this person blocked me first. But I ended up like sending a family group chat to be like, stop talking about me and my mom. Like, you're being weird. Like, stop.
Wow.
Yeah. And then they kind of use that as like, oh, look, Sasha's so rude. Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. So being the bigger person like is sometimes the petty option, if possible. So
be the bigger person out of spite.
Yeah. Like, I don't know that you need to like sit there and be like, we're, like cool and I'm gonna like build bridges. But it's more that like you shouldn't give anyone a reason to like be the
because like this uncle who is like upset with your family and made like a shit show at the other wedding. It's like, they'll probably make a shit show at the wedding whether you're there or not. Yeah. And if you're not there, then like you not being there could be the reason that they like decide to do things. And then some people might wrongly believe that like you're the problem, when if you just go and you're polite and you are a good guest and then you leave if things get out of control, like no jury would convict you.
Yeah, and I can tell you again, literally speaking from personal experience, sometimes they're just gonna do what they're gonna do, and the reasoning can be so juvenile.
100%.
Like my wedding had a fight, and it was because someone said like, you're hugging Sasha too early, like right after she got married.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah. And it was like a physical fight. So I like, yeah.
Wow, that is so psycho.
Yep. So it's just sometimes this stuff like just has to happen. I don't know how else to explain it. Like some people are just that annoying and like just that like frustrating, rather not even annoying, but like just that horrible that they will do that at anyone's event.
That's
like they just don't care.
That's so crazy. Well, Messenger, please let us know the update on if you decide to go or not. I wanted to get yours in here right away so you have time to hear it before you make a decision and potentially go to this wedding or not. And also, like, tell us about Johnny's sister's wedding. Tell us about the other, like, we would love to know. You could even just use like different names so that we don't know it's the same person or anything. We'll be happy.
We can't track. Exactly. Happy to do that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Wow,
maybe
amazing.
I should submit I like told what the mess was, but yeah, it was literally physical fight by the elevator at my wedding.
You don't have to submit it to Anony-mess or say it on the podcast, but you will be telling me about it as soon as
literally it was like I like obviously I'm not gonna say like how it related to me, but people were like fist fight.
Insane behavior. I can't believe it. Can't wait to make you tell me this after the podcast.
It's ridiculous.
With that, we have reached the end. I think another great episode of Mess Magnets. Good job to both of us. Sasha, where else can people find you?
Yeah, just find me on Blue Sky. I'm over there vibing, hanging out, tweet whatever, posting random thoughts. But really Mess Magnets. That's where I am right now.
I love it.
And what about you?
I am over at We Know Love Island and We Know datingshows.com, talking about Love Island quite literally 7 days a week until the end of the Love Island USA season. And if people want brownie points from me, they can go to We Know datingshows.com and subscribe to the new YouTube because it would mean a lot to me personally and I would appreciate it. Thank you so much to everyone for listening. Don't forget, you can leave a 5-star rating and review on your podcatcher of choice. And you can, you're going to get it early on Patreon. Talk to us on the Patreon. We are going to do off campus for the next patron only, but we need to find time to watch the show before we can do that. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening. We'll see you next time. Bye.